The scene opens inside the packed 1412 wrestling arena, buzzing with excitement. The camera pans over the enthusiastic crowd, signs waving and fans cheering. The lights dim and a spotlight focuses on the entrance ramp. The iconic rock band Aerosmith takes the stage, ready to kick off the night with a bang. They launch into a high-energy cover of Michael Jackson's Bad, with Steven Tyler's electrifying vocals filling the arena. Pyrotechnics explode in sync with the music, lighting up the arena in a dazzling display. Jim Ross, with his signature enthusiasm, exclaims, "Welcome everyone to 1412 Wrestling. We are live from the 1412 Wrestling Arena, and what a night we have in store for you." Elvira, adding her unique flair, says, "That's right, Jim. Aerosmith is setting the stage on fire, and we have a lineup tonight that will blow your mind." Pauly Shore, always the hype man, chimes in, "Totally, dudes, this is going to be one wild ride." As Aerosmith finishes their performance, the crowd erupts in applause. The band waves to the fans before exiting the stage. The camera cuts to the commentary team. Mr. Feeney, Jim Ross, Elvira, and Pauly Shore seated at their table, ready to guide the viewers through the night's action. Mr. Feeney, ever the voice of reason, begins, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have an incredible show lined up for you tonight. Let's get right to it and see what's in store." Ring announcer Daphne Blake steps into the ring, her presence commanding attention. She raises her microphone and begins to preview the night's matches. Welcome to 1412 Wrestling. Tonight, we have a series of thrilling matches and intense rivalries that are sure to keep you on the edge of your seats. Jim Ross continues the hype. Up first, we have Elmer Fudd taking on Sonic the Hedgehog. Can Elmer catch the speedy Sonic, or will Sonic prove too fast for the hunter? Elvira adds, and don't miss the big rivalry match. Joey Tribbiani, accompanied by Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello, faces off against Chandler Bing, who will have the entire Foot Clan in his corner. If Chandler wins, Joey must quit the TMNT and join the Foot Clan. The stakes couldn't be higher. Pauly Shore, excited, says, "Totally gnarly, dudes." And that's not all. Our tag team champions, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, will defend their titles against Bebe Rexha and Jackie Chan, with Bars and the entire Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade in their corner. This is going to be epic. Mr. Feeney continues, we also have a Divas Championship match featuring our champion, Katharine Isabelle, defending against Lady Gaga, the Pink Ranger, and DJ Tanner. This match promises to be a showstopper. Jim Ross adds, the angry video game nerd will face off against Pepsi Man in what's sure to be a chaotic encounter. And in a classic showdown, Elvis Presley takes on Jeff Jarrett. Elvira, with a hint of mischief, says, following the brutal ambush last week, Cliff O'Malley will face Cookie Monster. Will Cookie Monster get his revenge? Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, and let's not forget the Iron Sheik, accompanied by the rest of the golf cart, takes on Spider-Man with Hulk Hogan as the special referee. This match has bad blood written all over it. Mr. Feeney continues, and in a match with high stakes, Stone Cold Steve Austin faces Bars, accompanied by the rest of the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade. The winner will face Majin Buu for the 1412 championship next week, with President Freddy Krueger as the special referee. Jim Ross concludes, Majin Buu will join us at the commentary table for that match. You do not want to miss this. The camera pans over the excited crowd as they cheer in anticipation. Daphne Blake wraps up, we have an action-packed night ahead, so stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial break with our first match of the evening. The screen fades to black as the show heads to a commercial break, leaving the audience eagerly awaiting the thrilling action to come. As the show returns from commercial break, the camera focuses on the entrance ramp. The familiar, slightly off-key tune of Kill the Wabbit begins to play, and Elmer Fudd makes his entrance, dressed in his classic hunting gear and carrying a large net. The crowd reacts with a mix of boos and cheers, amused by his determined expression. Jim Ross on commentary sets the stage. Well, folks, last week Elmer Fudd declared it's Hedgehog season, and tonight he's looking to make good on that declaration. Elvira adds, Elmer's got his work cut out for him. Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the fastest competitors we've ever seen. Pauly Shore, with a chuckle, says, totally, dudes. This is going to be hilarious. Elmer Fudd steps into the ring, grabbing a microphone. Be very quiet. I'm hunting hedgehogs, he declares, eliciting laughter from the audience. Tonight, I will catch that wascally hedgehog and show him who's boss. The crowd's laughter turns to cheers as Sonic the Hedgehog's upbeat theme music hits. In a blur of blue, Sonic zooms down the ramp, high-fiving fans as he goes. He slides into the ring, looking confident and ready to face his opponent. Jim Ross comments, "Here he is, the fastest thing alive, Sonic the Hedgehog." Elmer Fudd is in for a real challenge. Elvira adds, "Sonic's speed is unmatched. Okay, this is going to be fun to watch." Pauly Shore, excited, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Sonic's going to run circles around Elmer." The referee signals for the bell and the match begins. Elmer Fudd immediately charges at Sonic with his net, but Sonic effortlessly dodges, moving too quickly for Elmer to keep up. Sonic playfully zips around the ring, taunting Elmer with his speed. Jim Ross calls the action, "Sonic is toying with Elmer Fudd. He's just too fast." Elvira adds, "Elmer can't catch a break. Sonic's agility is off the charts." Pauly Shore, laughing, says, "This is hilarious, dudes. Elmer doesn't stand a chance." Elmer, growing increasingly frustrated, tries a variety of tactics to catch Sonic. He sets up traps and even attempts to lure Sonic with a fake chili dog, but nothing works. Sonic avoids every attempt with ease, making Elmer look more and more foolish with each passing moment. Finally, Sonic decides to end the match. He zips around Elmer in a blur, causing the hunter to spin in place and become dizzy. Sonic then delivers a swift spin dash, knocking Elmer off his feet and sending him crashing to the mat. Sonic covers Elmer for the pin, and the referee counts to 3. Daphne Blake announces, "Here is your winner, Sonic the Hedgehog." Jim Ross exclaims, "Sonic wins." Elmer Fudd just couldn't keep up with the speed of the blue blur. Elvira adds, "Sonic's speed and agility were too much for Elmer. This was a fun match to watch." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally rad, dudes. Sonic rocks." Post-match, Sonic celebrates his victory, running around the ring and high-fiving fans. Elmer Fudd, still dizzy and disoriented, grabs the microphone once more. "This isn't over, Sonic. I'll get you next time. I've got new tricks up my sleeve," he vows, shaking his fist in determination. Jim Ross comments, "Elmer Fudd isn't giving up. He's promising new tricks and another attempt to catch Sonic." Elvira adds, "This rivalry is far from over. Elmer Fudd is determined to get his revenge." Pauly Shore, laughing, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. I can't wait to see what Elmer tries next." The camera captures Sonic waving to the fans as he exits the ring, leaving Elmer Fudd to plot his next move. The screen fades to black as the show heads to another commercial break, with the audience eagerly anticipating the next segment of 1412 Wrestling. Brigade. The scene transitions to the backstage area where Grover stands in front of the 1412 Wrestling backdrop, microphone in hand. The camera zooms in as Grover begins the interview. "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade, led by Bars. They have a lot to say about their dominance in 1412 Wrestling and their plans for tonight." The camera pans to reveal Bars standing at the forefront, flanked by the members of the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade. Cliff O'Malley, Donkey Lips, Doug Funny, Lola Bunny, Bebe Rexha, Jackie Chan, Earl Sinclair, Sugar Shane Helms, Spopovich, and Akeem the African Dream. Each member has a fierce look of determination. Bars steps forward, his eyes blazing with intensity. "Grover, the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade is here to dominate 1412 Wrestling. We hate boiled eggs. We hate chocolate ice cream, the worst flavor of ice cream, and we despise frosted cookies. They're disgusting, and they represent everything that's wrong with this world." The brigade nods in agreement, their collective hatred palpable. Grover, maintaining his composure, asks, "Bars, can you tell us about your plans to assist Bebe Rexha and Jackie Chan in their tag team championship match later tonight?" Bars grins wickedly. "Oh, we have big plans, Grover. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen might be champions now, but they haven't faced the full wrath of the brigade. Baby Rexha and Jackie Chan have our support, and with the brigade by their side, there's no way they're walking out without those titles. We're going to make sure Jordan and Pippen regret ever stepping into that ring." Cliff O'Malley steps forward, his voice dripping with disdain. "We're going to show everyone what happens when you mess with the brigade. Those champions are going down, and it's going to be a beautiful sight." Donkey Lips adds, "We're not just about fighting, we're about making a statement. And tonight, that statement will be loud and clear." Doug Funny, always the strategist, chimes in. "We've got every angle covered. every move planned. Bebe and Jackie are in good hands. Lola Bunny, with her characteristic charm, says, "We're going to hop all over those champions. They won't know what hit them." Grover, turning back to Bars, asks, "Bars, what are your thoughts on your upcoming match against Stone Cold Steve Austin? The winner will face Majin Buu for the 14-12 championship next week." Bars' expression hardens, and he steps closer to Grover. "Austin is a legend, but he's never faced anyone like me. I don't care about boiled eggs, chocolate ice cream, or frosted cookies. I'm focused on one thing, becoming the 14-12 champion. Austin can bring all his toughness, all his attitude, but it won't matter. The brigade has my back, and we'll do whatever it takes to win." Earl Sinclair steps in, his voice booming. "Austin, you think you're tough? You've never faced the collective might of the brigade. Bars is going to show you what true dominance looks like." Sugar Shane Helms, always confident, says, "We're here to shake things up, and Austin is just the beginning. Bars is going to take that win and move on to Boo." Spopovich, menacing as ever, growls, "Austin will be humbled. He's nothing compared to the strength of Bars and the brigade." Akeem the African Dream finishes, "Tonight, we make history. Bars is going to win, and the brigade will continue to dominate." Grover, sensing the intensity, wraps up the interview. "Thank you, Bars and the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade. It's clear you have big plans for tonight. We'll see how it all unfolds in the ring." The camera captures the determined faces of the brigade as they prepare to make their move. The screen fades to black as the show heads to another commercial break, leaving the audience eagerly anticipating the action-packed matches ahead. Scene transitions back to the ring where the crowd is buzzing with anticipation for the next match. The camera focuses on ring announcer Daphne Blake, who steps into the ring with her microphone in hand. "Ladies and gentlemen," Daphne begins, "the following contest is scheduled for one fall and has a special stipulation. If Chandler Bing wins, Joey Tribbiani must quit the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and join the Foot Clan." The arena lights dim as the dramatic music of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles begins to play. Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello emerge from the entrance, each one looking serious and focused. They are followed by Joey Tribbiani, who wears a determined expression, knowing what's at stake. Jim Ross on commentary sets the stage. "This is a high-stakes match, folks. If Chandler Bing wins, Joey Tribbiani will be forced to leave the TMNT and join the Foot Clan." Elvira adds, "The rivalry between Joey and Chandler has reached a boiling point. This match will determine Joey's future." Pauly Shore, excited, says, "Totally intense, dudes. This is going to be epic." Joey Tribbiani takes the microphone, looking directly into the camera. "Chandler, we were friends once, but you've crossed the line. Tonight, I'm fighting for my brothers, and I'm not going anywhere." The camera cuts to the entrance ramp as the menacing theme music of the Foot Clan fills the arena. Shredder leads the charge, followed by Bebop, Rocksteady, Taka, Razar, Krang, Groundchuck, and finally Chandler Bing, who looks confident and ready to fight. Jim Ross comments, "Chandler Bing is coming into this match with the full support of the Foot Clan. This is going to be a battle." Elvira adds, "The Foot Clan is a formidable force. Joey has his work cut out for him." Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "This is going to be wild, dudes. The Foot Clan means business." Chandler Bing grabs the microphone, smirking. "Joey, you've always been the dumb one. Tonight, I'm going to show you what happens when you mess with the Foot Clan. Get ready to join the dark side." The referee signals for the bell, and the match begins. Joey and Chandler circle each other, each one cautious and ready for anything. They lock up in the center of the ring, with Joey using his strength to push Chandler back into the corner. Jim Ross calls the action, Joey Tribbiani showing his power early on. He's not backing down. Elvira adds, "Joey is fighting for his place in the TMNT. He's giving it his all." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Go Joey! You've got this, dude." Chandler, using his cunning, breaks free and delivers a series of quick punches, catching Joey off guard. He whips Joey into the ropes and follows up with a drop kick, sending Joey to the mat. The Foot Clan cheers from ringside, urging Chandler on. Jim Ross comments, "Chandler Bing with a strong start. He's taking control of this match." Elvira adds, "Chandler is using his speed and agility to his advantage. Joey needs to regroup." Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "This is intense, dudes. Chandler is on fire." As the match progresses, interference from both sides becomes inevitable. Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello do their best to keep the Foot Clan at bay, but the numbers game is overwhelming. Shredder and his minions frequently distract the referee, allowing Chandler to capitalize with underhanded tactics. Despite the interference, Joey fights back with all his strength. He delivers a powerful clothesline to Chandler, followed by a series of punches and a suplex. The crowd is fully behind Joey, cheering him on as he gains momentum. Jim Ross calls the action. Joey Tribbiani is turning the tide. He's fighting back with everything he's got. Elvira adds, the crowd is behind Joey. He's showing incredible heart. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, go Joey, you're rocking it, dude. The match reaches its climax as Chandler and Joey both go down after a double clothesline, leaving them lying on the mat. The Foot Clan attempts to interfere once more, but suddenly, Leonardo's music hits. The crowd erupts as Leonardo charges down the ramp, ready to make his presence known. Jim Ross exclaims, it's Leonardo. Leonardo is here. Elvira adds, this could be the game changer Joey needs. Pauly Shore, excited, says, totally awesome, dudes. Leonardo is back. Leonardo slides into the ring and immediately goes after the Foot Clan, delivering kicks and punches with precision. Shredder tries to intervene, but Leonardo counters with a spinning kick, sending Shredder crashing into the barricade. With the Foot Clan neutralized, Leonardo turns his attention to Chandler. Joey, recovering, sees his opportunity. He climbs to the top rope and, with the crowd on their feet, leaps off, delivering a flying elbow drop to Chandler. Joey covers Chandler for the pin, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. Daphne Blake announces, here is your winner, Joey Tribbiani. Jim Ross exclaims, Joey Tribbiani wins. Joey is staying with the TMNT. Elvira adds, what an incredible match. Joey has secured his place with his brothers. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, totally epic, dudes. Joey rocks. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles rush into the ring to celebrate with Joey, lifting him onto their shoulders. The crowd erupts in cheers as they celebrate their reunited strength. Jim Ross comments, the TMNT are back together, stronger than ever. This is a momentous night for Joey Tribbiani and the Turtles. Elvira adds, Leonardo's return was the turning point. The TMNT are united once again. Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, totally rad, dudes. The Turtles are unstoppable. The camera captures the joyous celebration in the ring as Joey, Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Leonardo stand united, their bond stronger than ever. The screen fades to black as the show heads to another commercial break, leaving the audience eagerly anticipating the next segment of 1412 Wrestling. The scene transitions to the backstage area where Grover stands with a microphone next to the imposing figure of the sentient dumpster. The backdrop is filled with 4-ton-12 wrestling logos and posters of upcoming events. The sentient dumpster, an intimidating presence with a large dented metal exterior and graffiti-covered sides, looms menacingly beside Grover. Grover, trying to maintain his composure, begins the interview. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the sentient dumpster. Now, Dumpster, you've had a lot to say recently, especially about Mr. Feeney. Can you tell us more about your thoughts and plans? The sentient dumpster's lid flaps open and shut as it begins to speak in a deep, gravelly voice. Grover, Feeney is nothing but a washed-up has-been. He thinks he's smart, but he's nothing compared to my superior mind. I am the embodiment of the refuse of society, and I will prove that even garbage has power. Grover nods, trying to steer the conversation. You've certainly made your presence felt, Dumpster. What do you have to say about your upcoming debate with Mr. Feeney? The sentient dumpster's lid snaps shut and then opens again, its voice filled with contempt. Feeney doesn't stand a chance against me. I will outwit him, outsmart him, and show the world that a dumpster has more intellect than a so-called educator. I will expose him for the fraud he is. Grover, sensing the intensity, asks, and what about your other plans in 1412 Wrestling? Any other targets in mind? The dumpster's metal sides creak as it shifts slightly. Everyone in this federation is on notice. I will take down anyone who stands in my way. No one is safe from the wrath of the sentient dumpster. Grover wraps up the interview. Thank you, Dumpster. We look forward to seeing what you have in store. Now let's head back to the ring for our next match. The camera cuts back to the arena, where the crowd is buzzing with excitement. The lights dim and the familiar chiptune theme of the angry video game nerd begins to play. The AVGN, clad in his signature white shirt and black tie, makes his way to the ring. Carrying a Nintendo Power Glove on one hand and a rolling TV cart with a retro CRT television and a PlayStation console on it. Jim Ross on commentary sets the stage. Here comes the angry video game nerd ready to take on Pepsi Man. This match is sure to be an interesting clash. Elvira adds, the AVGN is known for his scathing reviews and unfiltered commentary. Let's see if he can back it up in the ring. Pauly Shore, excited, says, totally, dudes. This is gonna be wild. The arena lights up with flashing colors as Pepsi Man's theme music hits. The crowd cheers as Pepsi Man, the silver-skinned superhero, sprints down the ramp, striking heroic poses as he makes his entrance. He exudes energy and confidence, ready to take on the AVGN. Jim Ross comments, Pepsi Man is here. He's full of energy and ready to fight. Elvira adds, Pepsi Man is a formidable competitor. The AVGN will have his hands full. Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, this is going to be epic, dudes. Pepsi Man is pumped. The referee signals for the bell and the match begins. Pepsi Man charges at the AVGN with a series of quick punches and kicks, showcasing his agility. The AVGN dodges some of the attacks but takes a few hits, stumbling back. Jim Ross calls the action. Pepsi Man is starting strong, using his speed and agility to his advantage. Elvira adds the AVGN needs to find a way to counter Pepsi Man's relentless offense. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, go Pepsi Man! You've got this, dude! The AVGN, looking frustrated, suddenly signals for a timeout. He rolls the TV cart to the center of the ring, grabs the microphone, and starts a scathing review of the Pepsi Man game for PlayStation. This game is a piece of trash. The controls are terrible, the graphics are awful, and it's just a shameless ad for soda. Who thought this was a good idea? The crowd reacts with a mix of laughter and boos as Pepsi Man stands in the corner, his fists clenched in anger. The AVGN continues, and don't get me started on the difficulty. It's like they didn't even playtest this garbage. Pepsi Man, you should be ashamed of this game. Jim Ross comments, the AVGN is really laying into Pepsi Man. This review is brutal. Elvira adds, he's playing a dangerous game, antagonizing Pepsi Man like this. Pauly Shore, laughing, says, totally hilarious, dudes, but I think he's going to pay for this. Fueled by rage, Pepsi Man charges at the AVGN, knocking over the TV cart and delivering a flurry of powerful moves. He hits the AVGN with a series of rapid punches, a spinning kick, and a drop kick that sends the AVGN crashing into the turnbuckle. The crowd erupts as Pepsi Man showcases his strength and agility. Jim Ross calls the action, Pepsi Man is on fire. He's not taking that review lightly. Elvira adds, the AVGN might have bitten off more than he can chew. Pepsi Man is relentless. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, go Pepsi Man, show him who's boss. Pepsi Man lifts the AVGN and slams him to the mat with a powerful suplex. He then climbs to the top rope and leaps off, delivering a devastating Pepsi splash. The AVGN writhes in pain as Pepsi Man covers him for the pin. The referee counts 1, 2, 3. Daphne Blake announces, here is your winner, Pepsi Man. Jim Ross exclaims, Pepsi Man wins. What a dominant performance. Elvira adds, Pepsi Man showed incredible resilience and power. The AVGN didn't stand a chance. Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, totally awesome, dudes. Pepsi Man rocked it. Pepsi Man stands tall, striking a heroic pose as the crowd cheers. The AVGN, still reeling from the beating, rolls out of the ring, clutching his side and muttering about the game. Jim Ross comments, the AVGN may have given a scathing review, but Pepsi Man had the final say in the ring. Elvira adds, this was a hard-fought victory for Pepsi Man. He proved that he's not to be underestimated. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, totally rad, dudes. Pepsi Man rules. The camera captures Pepsi Man celebrating in the ring as the show heads to another commercial break, leaving the audience eagerly anticipating the next segment of 1412 Wrestling. The scene opens with a dramatic voiceover. Welcome to a day in the life of Scott Steiner, the most intense, unpredictable, and downright bizarre wrestler in 1412 Wrestling. The camera cuts to Steiner's mansion, a sprawling Gothic structure surrounded by a high iron fence and guarded by his rabid tigers. The gates swing open as Steiner, shirtless and flexing his enormous muscles, strides out with a determined look on his face. 5 a.m. Steiner's morning routine. The camera follows Steiner into his private gym, a massive space filled with every piece of workout equipment imaginable. Steiner starts his day with a brutal workout regimen, lifting impossibly heavy weights, doing one-arm push-ups with a tiger on his back, and bench pressing a full-size car. Steiner, sweating profusely, looks into the camera. This is just a warm-up. You think you can handle this? You can't even dream of being this strong. 7 a.m., breakfast of champions. The camera transitions to Steiner's kitchen, where he prepares an absurdly large protein shake, dumping in raw eggs, entire steaks, a dozen bananas, and a gallon of milk. He blends it all together, chugging it down in one go while flexing his biceps. Breakfast of champions. Steiner roars, slamming the empty blender jar on the counter, shattering it. You want to be like me? You got to eat like me. 8 a.m., Steiner's hobbies. Next, the scene shifts to Steiner's backyard, where he engages in his favorite hobbies. He practices throwing footballs through flaming hoops, wrestling alligators in his private pond, and playing chess with a chimpanzee dressed in a tuxedo. Checkmate, you little punk, Steiner yells at the chimp, who flips the board in frustration. 10 a.m., confrontations with neighbors. Steiner then heads out to run errands, driving his custom monster truck, the Freakzilla. He stops at a local grocery store where he gets into a heated argument with a shopper over the last tub of protein powder. You don't even lift, bro, Steiner shouts, snatching the tub from the terrified shopper's hands. This is Steiner country. 11 a.m. Steiner's charity work. Despite his rough exterior, Steiner shows his softer side by visiting a local children's hospital. The kids cheer as he walks in, flexing his muscles and handing out signed photos. He lifts a kid in a wheelchair, spinning him around in a playful manner, much to the delight of the other children. Stay strong, kids. You're all freaks in training. Steiner encourages them, flexing his muscles and posing for pictures. Steiner's intense training. Back at his mansion, Steiner engages in a rigorous training session with his tigers. He performs agility drills, jumping over the tigers and wrestling them to the ground, showcasing his unmatched strength and coordination. You think you can beat me? These tigers can't, and neither can you, Steiner yells at the camera, his voice filled with intensity. 3 p.m. Confrontations and challenges. Steiner's day wouldn't be complete without issuing challenges and getting into confrontations. He storms into a local gym, interrupting a yoga class and challenging everyone to a pose-off. The instructor, a serene-looking yogi, tries to calm him down, but Steiner lifts him over his head and carries him out of the room. This is how real men stretch, Steiner bellows, striking a ridiculous yoga pose that no one else can replicate. 5 p.m. Steiner's evening routine. The scene shifts to Steiner's evening activities. He prepares an enormous steak dinner, grilling multiple steaks at once on his industrial-sized grill. He then sits down to eat, surrounded by his tigers who gnaw on bones and large chunks of meat. Protein, baby, that's how you get big and strong like me, Steiner says, taking a massive bite out of a steak. 7 p.m. nightly workout. The day ends with Steiner back in his gym, pushing his limits with a final workout session. He lifts weights, runs on a treadmill at an insane speed, and performs feats of strength that seem impossible. 9 p.m., issuing the challenge. The segment concludes with Steiner standing in front of a camera, his muscles glistening with sweat. Listen up. 14-12 Wrestling. I'm issuing a challenge to any wrestler brave enough to face me. I'll take on anyone, anytime, anywhere. If you think you've got what it takes, come and get some. But remember, you're stepping into the ring with the genetic freak and you will be destroyed. The camera zooms in on Steiner's intense face as he roars. Big Papa Pump is your hookup. Holla if you hear me. The screen fades to black, leaving the audience both amused and awed by the insanity and intensity of Scott Steiner's daily life. The show transitions to another commercial break with the promise of more exciting action to come. The camera transitions back to the ring, where ring announcer Daphne Blake stands with a microphone in hand, ready to introduce the next high-stakes match. Ladies and gentlemen, Daphne begins. The following contest is a fatal four-way match for the Divas Championship. The crowd buzzes with anticipation as the lights dim and dramatic music begins to play. First to enter is DJ Tanner, her theme music from Full House remix playing. She makes her way to the ring with a determined look, waving to the fans and high-fiving a few as she passes. Jim Ross on commentary sets the stage. DJ Tanner is ready for a fight tonight. She's been training hard for this opportunity. Elvira adds, she's got the heart and the determination. Let's see if she can translate that into a victory. Pauly Shore, excited, says, totally awesome, dudes. DJ's bringing it tonight. Next, the arena lights flash pink as the Pink Ranger's theme music hits. The crowd erupts in cheers as the Pink Ranger flips onto the stage, showcasing her agility and strength. She strikes a series of martial arts poses before heading down the ramp, her eyes focused on the ring. Jim Ross comments, the Pink Ranger is a force to be reckoned with. Her skills are unmatched. Elvira adds she's got the agility and the power. This is going to be a great match. Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, totally rad, dudes. The Pink Ranger rocks. The atmosphere shifts to a dark, mystical tone as Lady Gaga's eerie music begins to play. Gaga, dressed in her gothic witchcraft attire, emerges from a cloud of smoke, her eyes filled with determination. She slowly makes her way to the ring, casting an enchanting spell with every step. Jim Ross calls the action, Lady Gaga is here, and she's bringing her dark powers to this match. Elvira adds, Gaga's witchcraft is a wild card in this match. She's unpredictable and dangerous. Pauly Shore, excited, says, this is going to be epic, dudes. Gaga's in the house. Finally, the reigning Divas champion, Katharine Isabelle, makes her entrance. Her werewolf transformation theme music blares through the speakers as she confidently strides to the ring, the Divas Championship belt gleaming around her waist. The crowd roars in approval as she howls, her eyes glowing with a supernatural light. Jim Ross comments, Katharine Isabelle has been a dominant champion. She's got the strength and the ferocity to back it up. Elvira adds, Isabelle's werewolf form gives her an edge that's hard to beat. She's a true powerhouse. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, totally gnarly, dudes. Katharine is unstoppable. The referee signals for the bell and the match begins. Immediately, the action explodes as all four competitors engage in a chaotic brawl. DJ Tanner and the Pink Ranger team up temporarily to take down Lady Gaga, but Gaga counters with a powerful spell, sending them both reeling. Katharine Isabelle uses her werewolf strength to overpower Gaga, throwing her into the turnbuckle with a thunderous crash. Jim Ross calls the action, this match is off to a wild start. These competitors are giving it their all. Elvira adds, the stakes are high, and they're all fighting for that championship. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, totally awesome, dudes. This is intense. DJ Tanner, showing her resilience, gets back on her feet and delivers a series of quick strikes to the Pink Ranger, who responds with a high-flying kick that sends DJ to the mat. Gaga, recovering from Isabelle's attack, casts another spell, creating a barrier of dark energy around herself. Katharine Isabelle, sensing an opportunity, begins to transform into her werewolf form. Her eyes glow brighter, and her muscles bulge as she lets out a ferocious howl. The crowd gasps in awe and fear as Isabelle fully transforms, her werewolf form towering over the other competitors. Jim Ross exclaims, Katharine Isabelle has transformed. She's unstoppable in this form. Elvira adds, this is what makes Isabelle so dangerous. Her werewolf form gives her a massive advantage. Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, totally epic. Dudes, Isabelle's a beast. Isabelle charges at Gaga, breaking through the dark energy barrier with sheer force. She lifts Gaga and slams her to the mat with a powerful werewolf slam. The Pink Ranger and DJ Tanner, realizing the danger, attempt to team up against Isabelle, but the werewolf champion is too strong. Isabelle grabs the Pink Ranger and hurls her in the ropes, delivering a devastating clothesline. DJ Tanner tries to capitalize on Isabelle's distraction, climbing to the top rope and leaping off with a crossbody. Isabelle catches her midair, spinning her around and slamming her to the mat with a brutal werewolf powerbomb. Jim Ross calls the action, Isabelle is dominating this match. She's taking everyone down. Elvira adds, DJ Tanner gave it her best shot, but Isabelle is just too powerful. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, go Isabelle, you're rocking it, dude. With Gaga and the Pink Ranger momentarily incapacitated, Isabelle focuses on DJ Tanner. She lifts DJ for another power move, but DJ fights back with a series of elbow strikes, breaking free from Isabelle's grip. DJ Tanner, summoning all her strength, delivers a stunning DDT to Isabelle, momentarily dazing the champion. Gaga, recovering from the werewolf slam, seizes the opportunity to cast another spell. She conjures dark tendrils that wrap around Isabelle, holding her in place. The Pink Ranger, back on her feet, uses her agility to land a series of quick strikes on DJ Tanner, who valiantly fights back. The match reaches its climax as all four competitors are back in the ring, trading blows and high-impact moves. The crowd is on the edge of their seats, fully engrossed in the action. Isabelle, still partially restrained by Gaga's spell, uses her immense strength to break free, shattering the dark tendrils. With a roar, Isabelle delivers a crushing werewolf clothesline to the Pink Ranger, sending her crashing out of the ring. Gaga, realizing the danger, tries to cast another spell, but Isabelle is too quick. Uh, she grabs Gaga and slams her to the mat with a werewolf chokeslam. DJ Tanner, seeing her chance, climbs to the top rope once more. She leaps off, aiming for Isabelle, but the werewolf champion catches her midair again. With a ferocious growl, Isabelle spins DJ around and delivers a thunderous werewolf powerbomb. She covers DJ for the pin, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. Daphne Blake announces, "Here is your winner, and still the Divas champion, Katharine Isabelle." Jim Ross exclaims, "Katharine Isabelle retains her title. What an incredible match." Elvira adds, "Isabelle's werewolf form was the deciding factor. She's an unstoppable force." Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "Totally gnarly, dudes. Isabelle rocks." Katharine Isabelle stands tall in the ring, holding the Divas Championship belt high above her head. The crowd cheers and applauds as the werewolf champion howls in victory. Jim Ross comments, "Isabelle has proven once again why she's the champion." But the competition isn't backing down. Elvira adds, "Lady Gaga and the Pink Ranger both vowed to challenge her again. This rivalry is far from over." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally rad, dudes. The Divas division is heating up." The camera captures the intense expressions of Lady Gaga and the Pink Ranger as they glare at Isabelle from outside the ring, signaling their intent for future challenges. The screen fades to black as the show heads to another commercial break, leaving the audience eagerly anticipating the next segment of 1412 Wrestling. The scene transitions back to the 1412 Wrestling Arena, where the lights dim and the crowd buzzes with anticipation for the next match. The camera focuses on ring announcer Daphne Blake, who stands ready with her microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen," Daphne begins, "the following contest is scheduled for one fall." The arena lights up with flashing lights as Elvis Presley's iconic music begins to play. The crowd erupts in cheers as the King, dressed in his classic white jumpsuit adorned with rhinestones, struts down the ramp, striking his signature poses and swiveling his hips. Elvis waves to the fans, exuding charisma and showmanship. Jim Ross on commentary sets the stage. "Elvis Presley is here, folks. The king of rock and roll is ready to take on Jeff Jarrett." Elvira adds, "Elvis has the showmanship and the skills to back it up. This is going to be a great match." Pauly Shore, excited, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Elvis is in the building." Elvis steps into the ring, acknowledging the roaring crowd with a confident smile and a quick wave. He takes the microphone from Daphne and speaks, Thank you very much. Tonight, Jeff Jarrett is going to learn a thing or two about the power of rock and roll." The crowd cheers even louder as Elvis hands the microphone back to Daphne. The lights dim again, and the familiar sound of Jeff Jarrett's theme music blares through the speakers. The crowd's cheers quickly turn to boos as Jarrett, carrying his signature guitar, makes his way down the ramp with a smug expression. Jim Ross comments, "Jeff Jarrett has been on a vendetta against Elvis Presley. Tonight, he's looking to settle the score." Elvira adds, "Jarrett's got a mean streak and a dangerous weapon in that guitar. Elvis needs to watch out." Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "This is going to be wild, dudes. Jarrett means business." Jarrett steps into the ring, glaring at Elvis. He takes the microphone and sneers, "Elvis, you've been living in the past for too long. It's time for the king to be dethroned, and I'm the man to do it." The referee signals for the bell, and the match begins. Jarrett charges at Elvis with a series of punches and kicks, trying to overpower him early. Elvis, using his agility, dodges the attacks and counters with a series of quick jabs, followed by a hip toss that sends Jarrett to the mat. Jim Ross calls the action Elvis Presley showing his wrestling skills early on. He's not just a performer, he's a fighter. Elvira adds, "Elvis has the speed and agility to outmaneuver Jarrett. This is going to be a tough match for both competitors." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Go Elvis. Show him who's boss, dude." Jarrett, frustrated, gets back to his feet and charges at Elvis again. This time he manages to grab Elvis and slam him into the turnbuckle. Jarrett follows up with a series of knee strikes, trying to wear Elvis down. The crowd boos as Jarrett continues his assault. Jim Ross comments, "Jarrett's taking control of the match, using his brawling style to his advantage." Elvira adds, "Elvis needs to find a way to turn the tide. Jarrett's relentless." Pauly Shore, concerned, says, "Come on, Elvis. Fight back, dude." Elvis, showing his resilience, fights back with a series of elbows to Jarrett's midsection. He pushes Jarrett away and delivers a powerful dropkick that sends Jarrett sprawling across the ring. The crowd cheers as Elvis regains momentum. Jim Ross calls the action, "Elvis Presley is back in the fight. What a comeback." Elvira adds, "Elvis is showing incredible heart and determination. He's not giving up." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally rad, dude. Go Elvis." The match continues with back-and-forth action. Elvis uses his agility and showmanship to outmaneuver Jarrett, delivering a series of high-flying moves and quick strikes. Jarrett, determined to win, counters with his own set of powerful moves, trying to keep Elvis down. The crowd is fully engaged, cheering for Elvis with every move. Elvis climbs to the top rope and leaps off, delivering a flying elbow drop that lands perfectly on Jarrett. The crowd erupts as Elvis covers Jarrett for the pin. The referee counts 1, 2, 3. Daphne Blake announces, "Here is your winner, Elvis Presley." Jim Ross exclaims, "Elvis Presley wins. What an incredible victory." Elvira adds, "Elvis used his skills and showmanship to secure the win. What a match." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Elvis rocks." Elvis stands tall in the ring, basking in the adulation of the crowd. He raises his arms in victory, smiling and waving to his fans. However, the celebration is short-lived as Jarrett, seething with anger, grabs his guitar and sneaks up behind Elvis. Jim Ross warns, "Watch out, Elvis. Jarrett's got that guitar." Elvira adds, "This doesn't look good. Jarrett's out for revenge." Pauly Shore, concerned, says, "No, dude, look out." Jarrett swings the guitar and smashes it over Elvis's head, sending him crashing to the mat. The crowd boos loudly as Jarrett stands over Elvis, a look of satisfaction on his face. He grabs the microphone and snarls, "This isn't over, Elvis. I'll see you in the ring again, and next time you won't be so lucky." Jim Ross comments, "Jeff Jarrett has sent a message. He's not done with Elvis Presley." Elvira adds, "This feud is far from over. Jarrett's attack has set the stage for a future rematch." Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "This is intense, dudes. Elvis and Jarrett are going to clash again." The camera captures the image of Elvis lying on the mat, dazed but still defiant, as Jarrett exits the ring with a smug grin. The screen fades to black as the show heads to another commercial break, leaving the audience eagerly anticipating the next segment of 1412 Wrestling. The camera cuts back to the 1412 Wrestling Arena, where the energy of the crowd is palpable. Ring announcer Daphne Blake stands in the ring, ready to introduce the next match. "Ladies and gentlemen," Daphne begins, "the following contest is scheduled for one fall." The crowd cheers in anticipation as the lights dim and a spotlight focuses on the entrance ramp. The familiar blue fur and googly eyes of Cookie Monster appear on the big screen, and the crowd erupts in cheers. Cookie Monster's theme music, a heavy rock version of his iconic "C is for Cookie" song, blares through the speakers. Cookie Monster charges down the ramp, a look of determination in his eyes, holding a large chocolate chip cookie in his hand. Jim Ross on commentary sets the stage. "Here comes Cookie Monster. Last week, he was ambushed by the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade, and tonight he's looking for revenge." Elvira adds, "Cookie Monster is not just about cookies. He's got the strength and determination to take on anyone." Pauly Shore, excited, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Cookie Monster is fired up." Cookie Monster grabs a microphone and steps into the ring. "Me here to teach Cliff O'Malley and Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade a lesson. Me no like ambushes, but me love to fight back. Tonight, Cliff O'Malley gonna get a taste of Cookie Monster's power." The crowd cheers louder as Cookie Monster throws his cookie into the audience and the lights dim again. The Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade's theme music hits, and Cliff O'Malley, accompanied by Bars, Donkey Lips, Doug Funny, and Earl Sinclair, makes his way to the ring. The brigade members try to hype up Cliff, but the crowd boos loudly. Jim Ross comments, "Here comes Cliff O'Malley with the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade. They're looking to make a statement tonight." Elvira adds, "The brigade is always causing trouble. Let's see if they can back it up in the ring. Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "This is gonna be wild, dudes. Cliff's got his back up, but Cookie Monster's ready." The referee signals for the bell, and the match begins. Cliff O'Malley charges at Cookie Monster, trying to use his speed to gain an early advantage. Cookie Monster, however, stands his ground and absorbs the impact, barely budging. He grabs Cliff and tosses him into the corner with a powerful throw. Jim Ross calls the action, "Cookie Monster is showing his strength early on. Cliff O'Malley is in trouble." Elvira adds, "Cookie Monster is not messing around. He's here to fight." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Go Cookie Monster. Show him who's boss, dude." Cliff, recovering from the throw, tries to rally with a series of quick punches and kicks. He manages to land a few blows, great, but Cookie Monster quickly counters with a powerful clothesline that sends Cliff crashing to the mat. The crowd roars in approval as Cookie Monster flexes his muscles. Jim Ross comments, "Cookie Monster is dominating this match. Cliff O'Malley can't keep up." Elvira adds, "Cookie Monster's strength is impressive. He's not giving Cliff any room to breathe." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally rad, dudes. Cookie Monster's on fire." Seeing their member in trouble, Bars, Donkey Lips, Doug Funny, and Earl Sinclair try to interfere from ringside. Bars climbs onto the apron, distracting the referee, while Donkey Lips and Doug Funny grab Cookie Monster's legs from under the ropes, trying to trip him. Cookie Monster stumbles, but quickly regains his balance, pulling Doug and Donkey Lips into the ring with a powerful yank. Jim Ross warns, "The Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade is trying to interfere. This isn't right." Elvira adds, "They're doing everything they can to help Cliff, but Cookie Monster isn't having it." Pauly Shore, concerned, says, "Come on, dudes. Let Cookie Monster fight fair." Cookie Monster, fueled by the crowd's cheers, dispatches Donkey Lips and Doug Funny with a series of powerful slams and throws. He then turns his attention back to Cliff, who is trying to capitalize on the distraction. Cliff runs at Cookie Monster with a flying forearm, but Cookie Monster catches him mid-air and slams him to the mat with a spinebuster. Jim Ross calls the action, "What a move by Cookie Monster. He's taking out the entire brigade." Elvira adds, "Cookie Monster's strength and determination are on full display. He's unstoppable." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Cookie Monster's got this." Bars, seeing his comrades taken out, tries one last-ditch effort to interfere, but Earl Sinclair pulls him back, realizing the futility. Cookie Monster, with a determined look, climbs to the second rope and raises his arms, signaling for his finishing move. He leaps off and delivers a massive Cookie Crush splash onto Cliff O'Malley, who lies motionless on the mat. The referee counts 1, 2, 3. Daphne Blake announces, "Here is your winner, Cookie Monster." Jim Ross exclaims, "Cookie Monster wins. What a dominant performance." Elvira adds, "Cookie Monster sought revenge, and he got it. He's shown the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade that he's not to be messed with." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally rad, dudes. Cookie Monster rules." Cookie Monster stands tall in the ring, celebrating his victory with the crowd. The Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade members slowly retreat, licking their wounds and plotting their next move. Cookie Monster roars in triumph, flexing his muscles and striking his signature pose. Jim Ross comments, "Cookie Monster has sent a clear message tonight. He's not someone to be taken lightly." Elvira adds, "This victory will resonate throughout 1412 Wrestling. Cookie Monster is a force to be reckoned with." Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "Totally awesome, dudes! Cookie Monster rocks." The camera captures the image of Cookie Monster standing victorious in the ring as the screen fades to black, heading to another commercial break. The audience is left eagerly anticipating the next segment of 1412 Wrestling. The camera transitions to the backstage area of the 14-14-12 Wrestling Arena, where Grover stands with a microphone in hand, looking excited and ready for the next interview. Behind him, the bustling activity of the locker rooms and the staging area creates a vibrant backdrop. "Ladies and gentlemen," Grover begins, "I am here with one of the most fearsome competitors in 1412 Wrestling, Weed Killer." The camera pans to reveal Weed Killer, standing tall and imposing, his eyes filled with a mix of intensity and calm menace. His presence immediately commands attention, and the backstage crew gives him a wide berth as they pass by. "Thank you for joining me, Weed Killer," Grover continues. "After your recent battles, everyone wants to know, what's next for you in 1412 Wrestling?" Weed Killer takes a moment, his expression unreadable as he considers the question. His voice, when he finally speaks, is deep and measured, carrying a hint of menace. Grover, in this world of wrestling, there are many who believe they can stand against the force of nature, but nature is relentless, and so am I. Grover nods, clearly impressed by Weed Killer's aura. You've certainly proven yourself to be a formidable opponent. Can you tell us more about what drives you to keep pushing forward in the ring? Weed Killer's gaze intensifies. What drives me is the desire to eradicate weakness. Just like the weeds in a garden, there are wrestlers here who do not belong. They are the weak links, the nuisances. My mission is to remove them, to ensure that only the strong survive. This isn't just about winning matches, it's about survival of the fittest. Grover, visibly intrigued, asks, "Is there anyone specific you have your sights set on?" Weed Killer's lips curl into a subtle, almost predatory smile. "I've been watching. I've seen the arrogance of those who think they're untouchable. There are many who will fall, but rest assured I am always looking for the next weed to pull. And when I set my sights on someone, there's no escape." Grover, sensing the intensity of the moment, leans in slightly. "Your approach is certainly unique. How do you prepare for your matches, especially against opponents who might underestimate you?" Weed Killer's expression remains steely. "Preparation is key, Grover. I train harder than anyone. Physically, mentally, I am always ready. I study my opponents, I learn their weaknesses, and I exploit them. But more than that, I embrace the chaos. In the ring, I am the storm. Unpredictable, unstoppable." Grover, clearly impressed, wraps up the interview. "Thank you, Weed Killer. It's clear that your focus and determination are unmatched. We look forward to seeing what you do next in the ring." Weed Killer nods slightly, his eyes never leaving the camera. "Remember this, Grover. Weeds grow fast, but they die even faster. To anyone in my way, consider this your warning. I am Weed Killer, and I will cleanse this place of weakness." The camera lingers on Weed Killer's intense gaze for a moment before cutting back to Grover, who looks genuinely awestruck. There you have it, folks. Weed Killer is on a mission, and it looks like nothing will stand in his way. Back to you at ringside. The screen fades back to the arena, where the crowd is buzzing with anticipation for the next match, the tension from Weed Killer's words still palpable. The show continues, but the promise of Weed Killer's impending reckoning lingers in the air. The camera returns to the 1412 Wrestling Arena, where the atmosphere is electric with anticipation. The crowd buzzes with excitement as ring announcer Daphne Blake stands in the center of the ring. "Ladies and gentlemen, Daphne begins. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, the special guest referee for this match, Hulk Hogan." The iconic sound of Real American blares through the speakers, and the crowd erupts in deafening cheers. Hulk Hogan, wearing a referee shirt, makes his way to the ring, flexing his muscles and hyping up the audience. He climbs into the ring, pointing to the crowd and giving his signature Hulkamania poses. Jim Ross on commentary sets the stage. "Hulk Hogan is here, folks." As the special referee for this high-stakes match, you know things are about to get intense. Elvira adds, "Hogan's presence alone is enough to elevate the tension. This is going to be one wild ride." Pauly Shore, excited, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Hogan's going to keep things fair and square." The lights dim, and the haunting theme of the golf cart stable begins to play. Iron Sheik, accompanied by the entire golf cart crew led by their manager Bert Sugar, makes his entrance. The crowd boos loudly as Sheik, with his trademark scowl, waves the Iranian flag and berates the audience in broken English. Jim Ross comments, "Iron Sheik and the golf cart stable are not here to play fair. They're looking to dominate and destroy." Elvira adds, "The golf cart's interference is always a wild card. This is going to be a tough match for Spider-Man." Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "This is going to be wild, dudes. Sheik and his crew are up to no good." Iron Sheik and his entourage make their way to the ring, taunting the fans and Hogan. Sheik steps into the ring, glaring at Hogan and waving his flag. The golf cart members, Gary Busey, John 420, Bart Gunn, the Minotaur, and thousands of ancient Sumerians wielding chainsaws, surround the ring, ready to interfere at any moment. The arena lights up again as the heroic theme of Spider-Man plays. The crowd erupts in cheers as Spider-Man swings down from the rafters, landing gracefully in the ring. He waves to the fans, his agile movements mesmerizing the audience. Jim Ross calls the action, "Here comes Spider-Man." His agility and speed will be key in this match. Elvira adds, "Spider-Man is always a crowd favorite. He's got the skills to take on Iron Sheik and the entire golf cart." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally rad, dudes. Spider-Man's gonna swing his way to victory." Hulk Hogan signals for the bell, and the match begins. Iron Sheik charges at Spider-Man, trying to use his brute strength to gain an early advantage. Spider-Man, using his agility, dodges Sheik's attacks with ease, flipping and somersaulting around the ring. He lands a series of quick kicks and punches, keeping Sheik off balance. Jim Ross calls the action, "Spider-Man's agility is incredible. He's keeping Sheik on his toes." Elvira adds, "Spider-Man's speed is his greatest weapon. Sheik can't seem to catch him." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Go Spider-Man! Show him what you've got, dude!" The golf cart members quickly begin to interfere, trying to distract Hogan and give Sheik an advantage. Gary Busey and John 420 climb onto the apron, yelling at Hogan and causing chaos. Hogan, however, remains vigilant, pushing them back and maintaining order. Jim Ross warns the golf cart is trying to interfere, but Hogan's not having it. He's keeping things fair. Elvira adds, "Hogan's doing a great job as referee. He's not letting the golf cart get away with anything." Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Hogan's keeping things under control." Despite Hogan's efforts, Bart Gunn and the Minotaur manage to slip Sheik a pair of brass knuckles. Sheik grins wickedly and swings at Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's spider sense kicks in and he dodges just in time. He counters with a web-slinging move, ensnaring Sheik's arm and pulling him into a spinning kick. Jim Ross calls the action, "Spider-Man's sense saved him there. What a move." Elvira adds, "Spider-Man's agility and instincts are second to none. He's giving Sheik a run for his money." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally rad, dudes. Spider-Man's on fire." The match continues with high-octane action. Spider-Man uses his agility to outmaneuver Sheik, landing a series of high-flying moves and quick strikes. Sheik, frustrated, tries to overpower Spider-Man with his brute strength, but is continually thwarted by Spider-Man's speed and Hogan's fair officiating. The climax of the match comes as Spider-Man climbs to the top rope, preparing for a high-flying finish. The golf cart members, seeing their leader in trouble, attempt a last-ditch interference. Bart Gunn and John 420 rush the ring, but Hogan intercepts them, delivering a series of punches and clotheslines that send them flying out of the ring. Jim Ross exclaims, "Hogan's taking out the golf cart. He's not letting them interfere." Elvira adds, "Hogan's keeping things fair, just like he promised." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Hogan's cleaning house." With Hogan neutralizing the golf cart, Spider-Man leaps off the top rope and lands a perfect Spidey splash on Iron Sheik. He covers Sheik for the pin, and Hogan drops to the mat. 1, 2, 3. Daphne Blake announces, "Here is your winner, Spider-Man." Jim Ross exclaims, "Spider-Man wins. What an incredible match." Elvira adds, "Spider-Man's agility and Hogan's fair officiating made the difference. What a victory." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally rad, dudes. Spider-Man rocks." Spider-Man stands tall in the ring, celebrating his hard-fought victory with the crowd. However, the celebration is short-lived as the golf cart members, enraged by their loss, storm the ring and attack both Spider-Man and Hogan. Jim Ross warns, "Oh no, the golf cart is attacking Spider-Man and Hogan. This isn't right." Elvira adds, "This is chaos. Someone needs to stop them." Pauly Shore, concerned, says, "Come on, dudes, leave Spider-Man and Hogan alone." The golf cart members deliver a brutal beatdown, with Gary Busey and John 420 stomping on Spider-Man, and Bart Gunn and the Minotaur attacking Hogan. The ancient Sumerians, wielding their chainsaws menacingly, surround the ring, ensuring no one interferes. Jim Ross calls the action, "This is a travesty. The golf cart is out of control." Elvira adds, "Spider-Man and Hogan are being decimated. This feud is far from over." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "This is intense, dude. Someone's got to stop." The camera returns to the 1412 wrestling arena, where the crowd is buzzing with anticipation for the next match. Ring announcer Daphne Blake stands in the center of the ring, ready to introduce the competitors. "Ladies and gentlemen," Daphne begins, "the following contest is a fatal four-way match scheduled for one fall." The lights dim as Electabuzz's electric-themed entrance music hits the speakers. The crowd cheers loudly as Electabuzz makes his way down the ramp, his electric aura crackling around him. He leaps into the ring, hyping up the crowd with his energetic movements. Jim Ross on commentary sets the stage. Electabuzz is one of the most electrifying kind competitors in 1412 wrestling. His speed and power make him a formidable opponent. Elvira adds, Electabuzz is always a fan favorite. His electric abilities can turn the tide of any match. Pauly Shore, excited, says, totally awesome, dudes. Electabuzz is ready to shock the competition. The lights dim again and the theme music of Cutsman, the robotic warrior, begins to play. The crowd's reaction is mixed as Cutsman, with his metallic clippers for hands, makes his way to the ring. His cold, calculating demeanor is evident as he steps into the ring, eyeing Electabuzz with intent. Jim Ross comments, Cutsman is a dangerous competitor. His robotic precision and strength make him a tough challenge. Elvira adds, Cutsman's cold, mechanical approach to wrestling is something to watch out for. He's not to be underestimated. Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, this is going to be wild, dudes. Cutsman means business. The lights shift again, and the haunting, mysterious theme of John Locke begins to play. The crowd cheers as Locke, up with his calm and confident demeanor, walks down the ramp. He looks focused, his eyes filled with determination. Locke steps into the ring, nodding respectfully to Electabuzz and Cutsman. Jim Ross calls the action. John Locke is a strategist. His mind games and cunning tactics make him a formidable opponent. Elvira adds, Locke's psychological approach to wrestling gives him an edge. He knows how to get into his opponent's heads. Pauly Shore, excited, says, totally awesome by dudes. Locke's ready to outsmart everyone. The lights dim one final time and the whimsical, playful theme of The Random Kid, managed by Bobby Heenan, begins to play. The crowd's reaction is mixed as the Random Kid, a small yet determined young wrestler, makes his way down the ramp with the legendary Bobby Heenan by his side. Heenan, ever the strategist, whispers tactics to the kid as they approach the ring. Jim Ross comments, the Random Kid may be small, but with Bobby Heenan in his corner, he's got a master tactician guiding him. Elvira adds, Heenan's presence alone makes the Random Kid a threat. He's got the brains and the heart. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, this is going to be wild, dudes. The Random Kid's got Heenan on his side. The referee signals for the bell and the match begins. Immediately, Electabuzz charges at Cutsman with a flurry of electric punches, trying to gain an early advantage. Cutsman counters with a powerful swipe of his clippers, sending Electabuzz reeling. Meanwhile, John Locke and the Random Kid circle each other, each looking for an opening. Jim Ross calls the action. Electabuzz is using his speed to his advantage, but Cutsman's strength is formidable. Elvira adds, this match is all about strategy and strength. Locke and the Random Kid are playing it smart. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, totally rad, dudes. This is intense. Locke, using his cunning, feints an attack on the Random Kid and instead targets Cutsman, delivering a series of quick strikes. The Random Kid, guided by Heenan, uses his agility to dodge Locke's attacks and lands a surprise dropkick on Electabuzz. The crowd cheers as the action heats up. Jim Ross comments, Locke's strategy is paying off, but the Random Kid's agility is impressive. Elvira adds, the Random Kid is showing he's got heart. He's not backing down from anyone. Pauly Shore, excited, says, totally awesome, dudes! The Random Kid's holding his own. The match continues with fast-paced, high-energy action. Electabuzz uses his electric abilities to shock Cutsman, stunning him momentarily. Locke capitalizes on the opportunity, hitting Cutsman with a neckbreaker. The Random Kid, seeing his chance, climbs to the top rope and leaps off, delivering a flying elbow drop to Electabuzz. Jim Ross calls the action, Electabuzz is down! The Random Kid is showing incredible bravery. Elvira adds, this match is anyone's game. The competitors are giving it their all. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, totally rad, dudes. This is wild. As the match reaches its climax, the chaos intensifies. Cutsman, recovering from the shock, delivers a devastating powerbomb to John Locke, sending him crashing to the mat. Electabuzz, regaining his composure, hits the Random Kid with a thunder punch, sending him sprawling. The crowd is on their feet, cheering for their favorites. Jim Ross exclaims, this match is electric. Everyone is giving it their all. Elvira adds, the energy in the arena is palpable. The competitors are fighting for victory. Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, totally awesome, dudes. This is intense. In the final moments of the match, Electabuzz and Cutsman face off in the center of the ring. Electabuzz charges up for a massive electric attack while Cutsman readies his clippers. Just as they're about to collide, John Locke, showing incredible resilience, leaps up and hits Cutsman with a surprise dropkick, sending him into Electabuzz's electric attack. Jim Ross calls the action, "What a move by John Locke. He's turned the tide." Elvira adds, "Locke's strategy has paid off. This is his moment." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally rad, dudes. Locke's got this." With Cutsman stunned and Electabuzz momentarily off balance, Locke quickly rolls up Electabuzz in a pinning combination. The referee counts 1, 2, 3. Daphne Blake announces, "Here is your winner, John Locke." Jim Ross exclaims, "John Locke wins. What an incredible match." Elvira adds, "Locke's cunning and resilience have secured him the victory. What a performance." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Locke rocks." John Locke stands tall in the ring, celebrating his hard-fought victory with the crowd. Electabuzz, Cutsman, and the random kids slowly recover, each showing respect for the fierce competition. The camera captures the image of Locke, arms raised in triumph, as the screen fades to black, heading to another commercial break. The audience is left eagerly anticipating the next segment of 1412 Wrestling. The camera returns to the 1412 Wrestling Arena, where the crowd is buzzing with excitement for the next match. Ring announcer Daphne Blake stands in the center of the ring, ready to introduce the competitors. "Ladies and gentlemen," Daphne begins, "the following contest is a triple threat match scheduled for one fall." The lights dim, and the iconic theme of Vegeta plays over the speakers. The crowd erupts in cheers as Vegeta, the Saiyan Prince, makes his way down the ramp with his wife Bulma by his side. Vegeta exudes confidence, his determined gaze fixed on the ring. Bulma cheers him on, adding to the excitement. Jim Ross on commentary sets the stage. "Here comes Vegeta, one of the most powerful fighters in the universe. His determination and strength are unmatched." Elvira adds, "Vegeta's Saiyan pride drives him to be the best. With Bulma by his side, he's ready for any challenge." Pauly Shore, excited, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Vegeta's gonna bring the heat." The lights dim again, and the chaotic theme of Strong Mad begins to play. The crowd's reaction is mixed as Strong Mad, accompanied by his brothers, Strong Bad and the Cheat, along with Santa Claus, makes his entrance. Strong Mad flexes his muscles and roars at the crowd, while Strong Bad and the Cheat taunt the fans. Jim Ross comments, "Strong Mad is a force of nature. His raw power and aggression make him a dangerous opponent." Elvira adds, "The support of Strong Bad, the Cheat, and Santa Claus gives him an added edge. This is going to be a brawl." Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "This is going to be wild, dudes. Strong Mad's ready to smash." The lights dim one final time, and the energetic theme of Greg Biffle and the golf cart stable begins to play. The crowd boos loudly as Biffle, accompanied by Gary Busey, John 420, Bart Gunn, the Minotaur, and the ancient Sumerians wielding chainsaws, makes his way to the ring. The golf cart members taunt the crowd and intimidate anyone in their path. Jim Ross calls the action. Greg Biffle and the golf cart are known for their ruthless tactics. They'll stop at nothing to win. Elvira adds, "The golf cart's interference is always a factor. Biffle's going to need all the help he can get." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. This match is going to be intense." The referee signals for the bell, and the match begins. Vegeta immediately charges at Strong Mad, delivering a series of powerful punches and kicks. Strong Mad absorbs the blows, roaring in anger and retaliating with a massive clothesline that sends Vegeta crashing to the mat. Greg Biffle, taking advantage of the chaos, targets both competitors with quick strikes and underhanded tactics. Jim Ross calls the action. Vegeta's speed and strength are impressive, but Strong Mad's power is overwhelming. Elvira adds, "Biffle is using every dirty trick in the book. This match is chaos." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally rad, dudes. This is wild." The golf cart members quickly begin to interfere, trying to distract the referee and give Biffle an advantage. John 420 and Bart Gunn climb onto the apron, causing chaos and confusion. Gary Busey and the Minotaur cheer Biffle on while the ancient Sumerians wield their chainsaws menacingly. Jim Ross warns, "The golf cart is trying to interfere. This isn't right." Elvira adds, "The golf cart's interference is making this match even more chaotic." Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. This is intense." Vegeta, regaining his composure, uses his Saiyan agility to outmaneuver Strong Mad and Biffle. He delivers a series of rapid punches and kicks, stunning both opponents. Strong Mad, enraged, charges at Vegeta, but Vegeta ducks and counters with a powerful energy blast that sends Strong Mad reeling. Jim Ross calls the action, Vegeta's energy attacks are incredible. He's turning the tide. Elvira adds, Vegeta's Saiyan pride is shining through. He's not backing down. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, totally rad, dudes. Vegeta's on fire. The match continues with high-octane action. Vegeta and Strong Mad trade blows, each trying to gain the upper hand. Biffle, using his cunning, tries to sneak in a few cheap shots and low blows. The golf cart members continue to interfere, but Bulma and Santa Claus try to keep them at bay. Jim Ross calls the action, this match is electric. Everyone is giving it their all. Elvira adds, the energy in the arena is palpable. The competitors are fighting for victory. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, totally awesome, dudes. This is wild. In the final moments of the match, Vegeta and Strong Mad in the center of the ring. Vegeta charges up for a massive energy attack, while Strong Mad readies himself for a devastating power move. Just as they're about to collide, Greg Biffle, seeing his chance, climbs to the top rope and leaps off, delivering a flying elbow drop to Strong Mad. Jim Ross calls the action, what a move by Greg Biffle. He's turned the tide. Elvira adds, Biffle's cunning and opportunism have paid off. This is his moment. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, totally rad, dudes. Biffle's got this. With Strong Mad down, Vegeta quickly recovers and hits Biffle with a powerful Big Bang attack, sending him crashing to the mat. Vegeta covers Biffle for the pin, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. Daphne Blake announces, here is your winner, Vegeta. Jim Ross exclaims, Vegeta wins. What an incredible match. Elvira adds, Vegeta's strength and determination have secured him the victory. What a performance. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, totally awesome, dudes. Vegeta rocks. Vegeta stands tall in the ring, celebrating his hard-fought victory with Bulma. The golf cart members, enraged by their loss, storm the ring and attack Vegeta. Strong Bad, the Cheat, and Santa Claus join in, turning the post-match celebration into a chaotic brawl. Jim Ross warns, oh no, the golf cart and the On Point Kings are attacking Vegeta. This isn't right. Elvira adds, this is chaos. Someone needs to stop them. Pauly Shore, concerned, says, come on, dudes, leave Vegeta alone. As the brawl continues, security and officials rush to the ring to break up the chaos. The screen fades to black as the show heads to another commercial break, leaving the audience in shock and anticipation for what's to come next in 1412 Wrestling. The camera transitions back to the 1412 Wrestling arena, where the atmosphere is electric with anticipation for the main event. Ring announcer Daphne Blake stands in the center of the ring, ready to introduce the competitors and special referee for the match. Ladies and gentlemen, Daphne begins. The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and the winner will face Majin Buu for the 1412 championship next week. Introducing first the special guest referee for this match, President Freddy Krueger. The eerie, haunting theme of Freddy Krueger fills the arena as he makes his way to the ring. The crowd's reaction is mixed, with boos and cheers intermingling. Krueger, wearing a referee shirt over his iconic striped sweater, smirks menacingly as he enters the ring, his razor-sharp glove glinting under the lights. Jim Ross on commentary sets the stage. This is a high-stakes match, folks. With Freddy Krueger as the special referee, anything can happen. Elvira adds, Krueger's presence adds an element of unpredictability. This is going to be intense. Pauly Shore, excited, says, totally awesome, dudes. Freddy's going to keep things interesting. The lights dim again, and the sound of shattering glass heralds the entrance of Stone Cold Steve Austin. The crowd erupts in deafening cheers as Austin marches down the ramp, his trademark scowl on his face. He enters the ring, climbs the turnbuckle, and salutes the crowd with his middle fingers, his intense gaze never leaving the audience. Jim Ross calls the action, here comes Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Texas Rattlesnake is ready for a fight. Elvira adds, Austin's determination and resilience make him a force to be reckoned with. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, totally rad, dudes. Austin's going to open a can of whoop-ass. The lights dim one final time and the theme of the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade begins to play. Bars, accompanied by the entire brigade: Cliff O'Malley, Donkey Lips, Doug Funny, Lola Bunny, Bebe Rexha, Jackie Chan, Earl Sinclair, Sugar Shane Helms, Spopovich, and Akeem the African Dream, makes his entrance. The crowd boos loudly as the brigade members taunt the fans and surround the ring, creating an intimidating presence. Jim Ross comments, "Bars and the Anti-Boiled Egg Brigade are known for their ruthless tactics. This is going to be a tough match for Austin." Elvira adds, "The brigade's interference is always a factor. Austin will need all his resilience tonight." Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "This is going to be wild, dudes. The brigade's ready to cause chaos." With Majin Buu joining the commentary team, the match begins. President Freddy Krueger signals for the bell, and the action starts immediately. Austin charges at Bars, delivering a series of rapid punches and kicks. Bars, using his size and strength, counters with powerful strikes of his own. The two competitors brawl intensely, neither willing to back down. Jim Ross calls the action, "Austin's coming out strong, but Bars is holding his ground." Elvira adds, "This is a slugfest." Both men are giving it their all. Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. This is intense." The brigade members quickly begin to interfere, trying to distract Freddy Krueger and give Bars an advantage. Jackie Chan and Akeem the African Dream climb onto the apron, causing chaos and confusion. Krueger, smirking, allows some interference, adding to the tension. Jim Ross warns, "The brigade is trying to interfere. This isn't right." Elvira adds, "Krueger's letting some interference slide. This match is chaos." Pauly Shore, hyping it up, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. This is intense." Despite the interference, Austin's resilience and determination shine through. He battles back against Bars, delivering a series of stinging chops and a powerful suplex. Bars, frustrated, calls for more help from the brigade. Donkey Lips and Doug Funny rush the ring, but Austin takes them out with a double clothesline. Jim Ross calls the action, "Austin's taking out the brigade members. He's not backing down." Elvira adds, "Austin's resilience is incredible. He's fighting off everyone." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally rad, dudes. Austin's on fire." The match continues with high-octane action. Bars uses his power to slam Austin into the mat, but Austin quickly recovers and hits Bars with a Thez press, followed by a series of rapid punches. The crowd cheers wildly as Austin continues to dominate. Jim Ross calls the action, "Austin's in control." The crowd is loving it. Elvira adds, "Austin's intensity is unmatched. He's giving it his all." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Austin's rocking it." In the final moments of the match, the brigade members swarm the ring, trying to save Bars. Freddy Krueger, enjoying the chaos, does little to stop them. However, Austin's determination prevails. He delivers a stunner to each interfering member, sending them crashing to the mat one by one. Jim Ross exclaims, "Austin's delivering stunners left and right. He's taking everyone out." Elvira adds, "Austin's fighting off the entire brigade. This is incredible." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally rad, dudes. Austin's unstoppable." With the brigade neutralized, Austin focuses on Bars. He kicks Bars in the midsection and hits him with a devastating stone-cold stunner. The crowd erupts as Austin covers Bars for the pin. Freddy Krueger reluctantly drops to the mat and counts 1, 2, 3. Daphne Blake announces, "Here is your winner, Stone Cold Steve Austin." Jim Ross exclaims, "Austin wins. He's going to face Majin Buu for the 14-12 championship next week." Elvira adds, "Austin's resilience and determination have secured him the victory. What a match." Pauly Shore, cheering, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Austin rocks." Austin stands tall in the ring, celebrating his hard-fought victory with the crowd. However, the celebration is short-lived as Majin Buu, watching from the commentary table, decides to make his presence felt. Buu charges up a massive energy blast and fires it at Austin, hitting him squarely in the chest. Jim Ross calls the action, "Oh no, Majin Buu has attacked Austin." Elvira adds, "Buu's sending a message. This feud is far from over." Pauly Shore concerns our segment 13. The atmosphere is tense as Grover stands with microphone in hand, ready to interview the 14-12 champion, Majin Buu. Buu, with his imposing presence, exudes confidence as he looms over Grover. Grover, ever the professional, begins, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the 14-12 champion, Majin Buu. Buu, you've been dominating the competition, and next week you face Stone Cold Steve Austin for your championship. What are your thoughts?" Buu grins wickedly, his voice dripping with arrogance. "Buu is the strongest. No one can beat Boo. Stone Cold Steve Austin thinks he can take my title? Ha! Boo will crush him like all the others. Grover, slightly intimidated, continues. Austin is known for his resilience and determination. Do you think he poses any threat to your reign as champion? Boo laughs menacingly. Stone Cold is nothing compared to Boo. He is weak. Boo will show him what true power is next week. Boo will still be champion. Suddenly, the interview is interrupted as Stone Cold Steve Austin storms into the frame, his eyes locked on Boo. The tension is palpable as the two wrestlers stand face to face. Austin, his voice filled with anger, growls, "You think you're unbeatable, Boo? Next week, I'm going to open up a can of whoop ass and take that title from you." And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Boo, unfazed, smirks and steps closer to Austin. Boo will destroy you, Stone Cold. You are nothing to Boo. The confrontation quickly escalates into a physical altercation. Austin throws the first punch, and the two begin brawling violently. Grover scrambles to get out of the way as Austin and Boo exchange heavy blows, the chaos spreading through the backstage area. Security and officials rush in to separate the two, but the damage is already done. The screen cuts back to the arena where the crowd is buzzing with excitement from the heated confrontation. As the camera returns to the commentary team, Mr. Feeney, Jim Ross, Elvira, and Pauly Shore recap the night's events. Jim Ross, with his signature enthusiasm, begins, "Ladies and gentlemen, what a night it has been here at 1412 Wrestling. We've seen incredible matches, intense rivalries, and unexpected twists and turns." Mr. Feeney nods, adding, "Tonight's events have set the stage for some thrilling matches next week. The tension between Majin Buu and Stone Cold Steve Austin is at an all-time high, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds." Elvira chimes in, "And let's not forget our current champions, Majin Buu, the 1412 champion, Katharine Isabelle, the Divas champion, Guy, the laser gun surfing battle champion, Heifer Wolf, the competitive eating champion, Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Joey Tribbiani, the stable champions, the Tick, the sword fighting champion, and Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, the tag team champions." Pauly Shore, excited as ever, says, "Totally awesome, dudes. Next week is going to be wild. We've got some killer matches lined up." Jim Ross continues, "That's right, Pauly. Next week, we'll see the 1412 championship match between Majin Buu and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And in addition, we have developing rivalries that will surely heat up the arena." Mr. Feeney concludes, "We'll also see new challenges and fresh matchups that promise to keep the excitement going. The action never stops here at 1412 Wrestling." Elvira adds, "Stay tuned, everyone. Next week is going to be another unforgettable night of 1412 Wrestling." As the show draws to a close, a teaser of next week's chaos plays on the screen, showcasing clips of heated confrontations, intense training sessions, and explosive action. The crowd's anticipation builds as the screen fades to black, leaving them eager for the next episode.